Well, good morning. Good morning. Hey, 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 hey. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, love. Shout out to John Legend. What's up, y'all? We are here. We are here. We are here. And we're here to talk a little bit of politics on the politics of it all today. And I'm trying to get this t-shirt aligned with my sorry. I'd be cold or I'd be having to have turbos on. Anyway, we're here. We're gonna talk some things. Let me say hi to y'all. While let me see if Tracy is in the building because Tracy said that she was having issues and she couldn't comment yesterday. I'll say, hey Diamond Onyx, hey Tabitha, hey Quintessential, J Parrish, Nary's 21. Hey Tanya, my love. Child. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go into my YouTube studios just to make sure I know who's on my block list. Because I don't want anybody not to have access to talk to me that should have access. Um, Mods, if y'all could drop the StreamYard link, if you want to come on and talk some politics with me today, go ahead and click the link now if you know what you want to talk about. Or you want to wait for me to, unsheath the agenda and my topics for the day, you can do that. But you are more than welcome to come up now and get in the background. Um, hey Nicole Stevens. Now I got to try to remember how to go and check if somebody's blocked. That shows you how much I block people because um I don't really block people like that. Um yeah. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all, I'm trying. Sorry. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna have to go in and find out how to check. I used to know this stuff, but I don't really block people like that. Hey, Volvo, child, I don't really block people like that. So for me to have to go in and see who got blocked or whatnot is, yeah. Hold on. All right. I think it's under channel analytics. Audience. I think it's under audience. Um, no, that's not it. I don't know, y'all. See, this is why I don't block people because now my mods might block you, and if my mods block you, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's between you and God. I ain't gonna say you and them. That's between you and God because if the mods block you, they just block you. You'll be all right. Like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Um, but I'm looking, y'all, to see. Anyway, while I'm looking for that, um, what's up, y'all? I don't know. Can somebody who know? Hey, Shakira. Hey, Raphael. Can somebody who know where I should be looking tell me where the hell I should be looking? Because I don't remember. Um, I don't even remember how to look for blocked people on. here because I just don't be blocking people like that. Just child, y'all ain't helping me at all. See how y'all do me? Y'all just gonna leave me out here drowning, looking. Y'all like, well, you will figure it out. See what I'm saying? Um, I'll have to figure it out later because it's wasting too much time. I have no idea. Um, I really just can't remember at all how to go in and figure out if somebody's blocked or not. Like I just don't know. I don't really. Um, mm, I'm looking, y'all. Um, oh, okay. I think I found it. All right, let's see who's hitting. All right, I found it, y'all. I had to play around with it because y'all weren't helping. You people were not helping. Oh, oh, I see some people on this block list. Mm. Well, it is some people on this block list. I don't know how these people got blocked. There's a lot of people on the block list. The mods have been busy. I know it ain't been me. Why there's somebody on the block list named um Wiley's colon? I'm not doing this with you. Not Wiley's colon. I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm gonna take some of these people off the block list. Maybe they'll go back on, but it's a lot of people on this block list. The mods have been busy. Junebug with bed bugs is the name of another person who was blocked. Hey, Spicy Original. I don't see you on here, Tracy, but let me say, Tracy, if you're in the bushes, go ahead and try to type because I don't see you on here. I took some people off the block list, and some of these people gonna stay on there. They're just gonna stay. I don't like y'all like that. Anyway, but I just saved it. Um, so I think Wiley's colon. Should we take Wiley's colon off of the block list? We'll leave it on there. We'll leave it on the block list. All right. So let's get down to the get downs. Get down to the get downs. Get down. Hey, really be. Listen, y'all. Before I go through and unsheath. Hey, Sharika, Chicago. I know some others of y'all slipped in here. Hey, Bobo. Child. Right. She be coming over here with her shenanigans, her Capricorn. Hey, she secretly wants to be a Capricorn. And it's okay. If you want to be one, but you can't. Sorry. No more room in the end. Just, you're a cancer, stay a cancer and stay killing people because that's what cancer does. Kills people. It's okay. Girl, hey Spicy Original. So can I tell y'all it's so funny that yes, Capricorn, come on, January 3rd. Shout out to all my Capricorns. Y'all know Capricorn season really don't end until February 14th because we have to take over even the Aquarius part of it because the Aquarius don't even deserve a whole season. So we just gonna get them a shortened season. And Capricorn season is extended until Valentine's Day. They'll have to get over it. Anyway, so it's still Capricorn season, Team Capricorn. Sean knows to all of my Team Capricorn out there. So, y'all know we break stories around here, okay? We unsheath these things before they hit mainstream media. Y'all know really be or not, probably over a month ago, or at least a month ago, I think it was over a month ago, already started to tell y'all about the book bans out there in Texas and in Florida. And we have been, at the forefront of, telling y'all all of these things that's going on. So now, over the last few days, I've been seeing all of the mainstream blogs and media and, blathering and bloviating about the book bans as if it's some new phenomenon. And we have been screaming about this for well over a month now. I know it was over a month now because I think it was December. It was either November or December when Really B and I talked about the list of 850 books that Governor Hot Wheels and his band of merry racists over there in Texas were planning on banning. I want to say that was November when we started to talk about that. And so now, the people are catching up and acting as if they are breaking news on this. And we looking like, girl. Anyway, Mars, can one of y'all drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up here and talk about some of these things? With that, if you know you want to come up here and talk about some of these things, you can go ahead and do that now. Click the link, get in the background, and we'll do that. We will do that. So let me see. Let me get y'all my agenda for today. So today, what we plan to talk about is the pretty little pickle. There's a good alliteration. Pretty little pickle that the Dems might find themselves in because somebody had a stroke. One of the Democratic senators had a stroke, and I think Tuesday, and is now going to be out for several weeks. And so, yeah, and that's at the earliest. So we're going to talk about that little quagmire, who that is, and what that's all about. We're going to talk about the GOP and what they want to do with the child tax credit. I'm sorry, not the GOP, excuse me, the Democrats and what they want to do with your child tax credit. We'll talk about that. We're going to hit on a lawsuit being filed against Tesla. Elon Musk, a deplorable human being, if I must say so myself. But we're going to talk about a lawsuit that he has going on today. And we're going to talk about a great suspension that happened. Hey, Tracy. See, Tracy, there you go. Tracy thought she was blocked and she wasn't blocked. We're going to talk about Georgetown suspending their director of their law school. Yeah. And all of these things. And we'll talk about some other stuff. Our feature presentation will be in my great state of Florida, where Florida is continuing to tell its citizenry and constituents, we don't give a shit about you. Go somewhere and die slowly. We'll talk about my great state of Florida and Governor death sentence, Ron DeSantis, and all that he's doing to single-handedly take us back to the 16th and 17th century. But seeing as how it's Black History Month, Really B, where was you yesterday when I did my Black History Month fact and moment? And I needed you here to see how well I was doing with my history stuff. You would have been proud of me, really. Hey, peace, love. So I have another little known Black History moment today. Since I have to have our feature presentation. Remember yesterday, our feature presentation connected back to our Black History fact. So our Black History moment, in fact, today is going to tie to our feature presentation, which is in Florida. So fun. I don't know if this is fun. As much. Let me take that word out of it. I won't call this fun. But our Black History fact of the day comes from my great state of Florida. You, child, child, if our students came late like she did, it might be a problem, child. A mess, a damn mess. Anyway, where am I going? Where am I going? First, oh, there's a lot going on. I did drag New York City for everything they had going on. Hey, Rochelle Bailey. Hey, my love. Child, I did have to drag. Hey, Lamone. I had to drag New York City for trying to act like they're so progressive and so great toward us, and had to remind them. Let the record show. Lamone, you know I'm still mad at you that you changed your avatar from the guns. You know we look for the guns round here. Lamone, we look for when you pop out the bushes to see the guns, and you around here tripping. Not that your face is not good either. Hey, Diamond Pearl Jim. All right, so there's a link if anybody wants to come up. Before I get to my Black History fact of the day, I just want to give you a quick update on our feature presentation yesterday. Yesterday, our feature presentation was the Brian Flores NFL, so forth. So now the NFL is going to investigate Dolphins owner Stephen Ross because there is another witness corroborating the story that or the allegations that Brian Flores had, saying that he was offered $100,000 per game to tank and lose games. And so now there's a witness who came up and has receipts as well for this. I'm not going to go into the details of that because I'm going to do that on another live as we continue to follow that story and update it. But I wanted to give you that quick update because I told y'all things would start to, you had to graduate, Lamont. I'm not doing this with you, Lamont. God, sometimes graduation isn't good, you know? Anyway, y'all see how I get sidetracked. But I'm going to continue to update you all on that. I probably will do an update on what's today? Thursday, Silly Saturday. We'll probably have an update on Silly Saturday. I will be doing Silly Saturday this week. I was out of town that last week, so I couldn't do Silly Saturday. So we'll have Silly Saturday this week. Yeah. Sharika, you say you was in the bushes, girl. Sometimes you gotta come out the bushes. Listen, as a person who stays in the bushes, I can tell you get bit by ants in the bushes. So every now and again you gotta pop out the bushes and brush off the dirt and the ants that be biting you, child, so you don't get bit in the bushes. I know about the bushes. Anyway, so stay tuned for that. We'll see how far that goes. All right, here's our Black History moment of the day. So in my great state of Florida, all right, you should know that the very first legally sanctioned settlement of freed Black people in these yet to be United States was in Florida at a place called Fort Mose, Mose. All right, Fort Mose is where that happened. So let me give you a little bit of the history of Fort Mose. In now, Florida has a historic state park now called the Fort Mose Historic State Park, and it is the site of the first legally sanctioned free African settlement in what is now the yet to be United States of America. This was in 1738. Now, you know, Florida did not become a state until 1850. Florida became a state in 1850. So this was 1738, well before it was a state of the U.S., and it was still under the rule of the Spanish king. All right, so in 1738, the Spanish governor of Florida chartered the settlement of Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, or Fort Mose for short, a settlement for those freeing slavery from the English colonies of the Carolinas. Over the next 25 years, Fort Mose and Spanish St. Augustine became a sanctuary for Africans seeking liberation from the tyranny of English slavery amidst a large scale power struggle between European powers in the New World. The only stipulation for gaining their freedom was that they had to declare their allegiance to the King of Spain and become members of the Catholic Church. So, um, in order to get your freedom, you had to declare your allegiance to the King of Spain and join the Catholic Church. On its surface, it looks good, but you still have to grapple with the fact that these people who were unduly and unfairly snatched away from their homeland was still having to be forced, have religions and cultures forced on them against their will. But I'm just gonna read it like I see it, y'all. I'm just gonna give it to y'all like I see it now. It is estimated that 100 Africans made Fort Mose their new home. What is particularly interesting is that the residents created a sort of new cultural community, pulling from Native American, Spanish, and English cultural customs. Fort Mose has been recognized for its national significance in commemorating the history of the United States. Um, Now, I found another article that really goes into detail telling you how before there was an underground railroad that we know that sent you up north, the original or first iteration of the Underground Railroad sent you south to Florida, well before the Underground Railroad that sent you north. And what ended up happening was as Florida started to become more under the become a state and moving towards statehood and stuff like that, that's when they changed routes and started going north because Florida was no longer safe for slaves. So let me read you this little excerpt. Um, More than 250 years ago, enslaved Africans risked their lives to escape English plantations in Carolina and find freedom among the Spanish living at Fort Mose, which is in St. Augustine, which, as we know, we are near St. Augustine, I should say. But you should know St. Augustine is credited as being, I think, like the first U.S., the first city in the continental U.S. I think St. Augustine is designated as that. Um, Battling slave catchers and dangerous swamps, they helped establish the first American Underground Railroad more than a century before the Civil War. Courageous Africans and their Native American allies shuttled runaways southward rather than to the north as the later railroad would. In Florida, the Spanish freed the fugitives, excuse me, not refugees, but fugitives in return for their service to the king and their conversion to the Catholic faith. We just talked about that. The Spanish were glad to have skilled laborers. Here's that term again. I'll let that sink in. Y'all see where we're going with this, right? The Spanish were glad to have skilled laborers, and the freedmen were also welcome additions to St. Augustine's weak military forces. In 1738, the Spanish governor established the runaways in their own fortified town, Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, about 2 miles north of St. Augustine, Florida. Mose became the first legally freed black town in the present day United States, and it is critically important. It is a critically important site for a Black American history. Mose, I just say Mose because I'm going to use the American accent, provided Mose provides important evidence that Black American colonial history was much more than slavery and oppression. The men and women of Mose won their liberty through great daring and effort and made important contributions to Florida's multi-ethnic heritage. Now, we talked about that yesterday, how when they give you Black history, they only want to show you, or they talk about the time period of slavery, they only want to talk about us being oppressed and enslaved, never want to talk about instances such as this. Um, so that's just a little bit of it. Now, interestingly enough, if you learn the history of the state of Florida, um, St. Augustine is very close, just south of Jacksonville. And so when you talk about Fort Mose, or Fort Moses, I like to call it, it's right there in what we now call southern Jacksonville. And so you end up having, if you know your Florida history, Jacksonville is one of the first areas where you had a lot of Black people. That back in the 1700s and certainly 1800s, the majority of Black people that lived in what we know now to be Florida come from Jacksonville area. And later on, they started trickling south and going further south because Jacksonville was too close to Georgia and the Carolinas, and slave owners would go and try to, snatch back their slaves. So the people, Black people, started trickling further down south with the help of the Seminole Indian tribe, and some other indigenous Native American tribes that were helping Black people get their freedom further south. And we can talk about that history at some other time. But I wanted to give y'all our Black History moment of the day. Fort Mose, as I like to call it, or Fort Mose. And you talk about me rolling my tongue. I'm from Miami. If you're from Miami, Tabitha, you got a little roll. You got a little roll of the tongue. Being from Miami, you got to have a little bit. Be able to roll that R. Anyway, so that is Fort Mose. Go look it up. Do some research on your own, and find out, because this is something that they don't want to tell you about. A lot of people like to mix words and stuff with it, because they're saying that, oh, technically that wasn't a part of America at that time, but Florida did eventually become a part of America, and it's part of American history because these Black people were freeing themselves from the tyranny of slavery in America. So you have to include it as a part of American history, even though that wasn't America at the time. But go look it up. You will learn that these Black people, these Africans, were fighting, were helping the Spanish fight against the English army and stuff like that, and all of those things. And then we could talk about it ain't all good. You can talk about the the dirty side of it. This forced conversion to Catholicism, and this forced cultural changes that had to be made and so forth. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. So that's Fort Mose. I just want to make sure that I tell y'all about that. That's our Black History moment of the day in the great state of Florida. We'll come back to Florida. I had to grab my Fiji water because sometimes you just want some good water, so I had to grab my big Fiji. All right, so oh yeah, they're gonna hide that. They'll never tell you about that because technically that qualifies as critical race theory. Hey, LaDonna, and we would never want to do because that would be critical race theory. We never want to talk about that. Dear God. All right, so that's our Black History moment of the day. Fort Mose, which was founded in 1738 in the great state of Florida. First settlement for freed Black people in these yet to be United States of America. All right, so with that being said, where do we go from here? Let's talk about this lawsuit. Let's start off with this lawsuit. We'll get some sugar spikes out of the way first. So yeah, we'll get some sugar spikes out of the way first. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's have a sugar spiking moment. Let's get ourselves prepared. Let's regulate our sugar levels. To regulate my sugar levels today, what do I have in terms of snacks? So while I was out of town on the road, I drove instead of flying. I stopped by Buc-ee's, the big, huge gas station. If you don't know what Buc-ee's is, it's like a big, huge gas station. Now they're just starting to get Buc-ee's gas stations in Florida. And other states have had it for a while, but Florida had never had a Buc-ee's. So they're just starting to open up in Florida. So while I was down there, I had to go by and get some gummy bears from Buc-ee's. See, there's a little Buc-ee's little mascot, little thing, beaver mascot. Anyway, you got your Welch's fruit yogurt too. I ran out. I had bought some of those recently, and I must have ate them all because I did buy some of those recently, LaDonna, and I done ran out. Right, pour some sugar on me, child. Anyway, so let me eat my gummy bears. Y'all ready? So, Tesla faces lawsuit from Black former employee. A woman says she was subject to harassment and retaliation based on her race and sexual orientation. Child, let me go ahead. Child, let me go ahead and read this for y'all. Tesla, the company founded by Elon Musk, that's been the darling of the electric vehicle market, is being sued by a Black gay former employee who alleges the company did nothing as she endured racism and physical violence while on the job. According to Insider, the woman, Kaylin Barker, alleges that a coworker repeatedly called her the N-word and even threw a dangerous tool at her while they were on the job at a Tesla factory. The story did not specify the name or location of the factory, but the company has facilities in Austin, Fremont, California, Lathrop, California, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Nevada, and Buffalo. Barker's lawsuit also alleges that after she reported the incidents, she was repeatedly called into human resources and then sent home from work, effectively docking her pay and ultimately terminated. Tesla got rid of its PR department in 2020, and the company's website has no press releases related to the lawsuit. The company has also been sued over similar allegations. Remember, we talked on this channel about I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a guy in California that was also suing Tesla. Remember, he was a subject of racism and so forth and so on. And then I recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, had an update on the story, or maybe it was in December, where he ended up getting awarded millions of dollars because it was substantiated, and he won his lawsuit against Tesla. I'm just saying. Yep. It's problems down there. It's problems, but the United States government is funneling billions of dollars and tax cuts and all kinds of stuff to Elon Musk and his company, while they're over here doing all kinds of racist and bigoted things. Let me keep reading as much as I can read, trying to eat gummy bears at the same time. Anyway, Barker is being represented by J. Bernard Alexander, the same attorney who represented Owen Davis. That's the guy's name, Owen Davis, a former Tesla elevator operator who successfully sued the company for racial harassment in October 2021. A jury ordered Tesla to pay him $137 million in damages. Now, we broke that story. I want to say we first talked about that story last May. It was either, I think it was right before the summer. I believe we talked about that story because nobody was talking about it. And then it was already in courts, and it already being adjudicated, and he won his case a couple months ago. And I think we gave the update on that back in December, either November, December. We updated on that. So this is not new for Tesla. Okay, this is par for the course. In response to the verdict, Tesla's then head of HR, Valerie Capers Workman, said in a blog post the company had come a long way since Owen Diaz had worked there. The Tesla of 2015 and 16, when Mr. Diaz worked for the Fremont factory, is not the same as the Tesla of today, Workman wrote. Tesla, y'all got a problem. So there was another case where Tesla was ordered to pay a black former worker named Melvin Berry $1 million, and that was also last year. And Berry said his supervisors called him the N-word and stuff like that. So Tesla, this is listen, this is a rampant problem over there. So as much as they would like to say, oh, we are different Tesla today than we were years ago, apparently not. If you go and really do some research on Elon Musk, you will find out that he's a horrible and deplorable individual. Like, there were people who were outraged. Wasn't he like Time Magazine's Person of the Year or something, like either last year or year before last? And people lost their minds, hey, Piki Tiki, because they know the story and history of how horrible of an individual that he is. So keep yourselves, we'll keep you updated on that and posted on this. The woman's name is Kaylin, Kaylen Barker, Barker, and I'll keep you posted and updated on that. Hopefully, by them having to subject this woman to racial epithets and having blunt objects thrown at her, hopefully they'll have to pay her hundreds of millions of dollars as well. One can only hope. We'll see. But you got employees, she's enduring racism and people throwing dangerous working tools at this woman. Just a mess. Just a damn mess. We'll see how that goes. That's what's going on down there to the Tesla. And let's move on to more sugar spiky moments. Georgetown law director suspended for tweets about, quote, lesser black women for the U.S. Supreme Court vacancy. Didn't we just say yesterday that these people would start to come out of hiding and there would be this concerted attack on black women across the fruited plains because your president, Joe Biden, announced that he was going to choose a black woman for the court, and that the raging um, racists out there on both sides of the aisle will start to show themselves as they try to attack black women across the fruited plains. And this is the incoming director of the Georgetown Law School. Uh, and Lord, let me read this article. According to CNN, Ilya Shapiro, the incoming director of the Georgetown University Center for the Constitution, was suspended after he made some controversial comments on Twitter questioning President Joe Biden's promise to hire a black woman for the United States Supreme Court vacancy. This is becoming a common occurrence at Georgetown because less than a year ago, a Georgetown law professor was fired for making disparaging comments about black students while on a video call. Ilya Shapiro, who was to take his position at Georgetown Law on February 1st, tweeted on Wednesday, um, objectively best pick for Biden is Shri Srinivasan, a judge on the U.S. Court. I couldn't pronounce the last name. I'm sorry. A judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals in the District of Columbia. Shapiro also described Srinivasan as progressive and smart. Even has identity politics benefit of being the first Asian or Indian American, Indian being from India. Shapiro wrote, but alas, doesn't fit into the latest intersectionality hierarchy, so we'll get lesser black women. Thank heaven for small favors. Let me read that again because I know with me butchering that last name, you don't get the full context of it. So let me read this again. Here's the tweet. Here's what he tweeted out. This is the original tweet, I should say. Now, he says, objectively, best pick for Biden is Srinivasan, who's a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals in the District of Columbia, this Columbia Circuit, the second highest court. Shapiro described Srinivasan as progressive and smart. Went on to tweet, Srinivasan even has identity politics benefits of being the first Asian Indian American, but alas, doesn't fit into the latest intersectionality hierarchy, so we'll get lesser black women. Thank heaven for small favors. Now that's what he wrote, basically saying that whatever black woman he chooses is going to be lesser than this Srinivasan, who may be a great individual, but it doesn't help that you have somebody trying to say that you are better than someone by saying that someone else is lesser. Those tweets, of course, have since been deleted, and he took to Twitter to apologize. Here's his apology. I regret my poor choice of words which undermined my message that nobody should be discriminated against for his or her skin color. A person's dignity and worth simply do not and should not depend on race, gender, or any other immutable characteristic. While it's important that a wide variety of perspectives and backgrounds be represented in the judiciary, so blatantly using identity politics in choosing Supreme Court justices is discrediting to a vital institution. Chief Judge Sri Srinivasan is, in my mind, the most qualified nominee a Democrat a Democratic president could choose. Reasonable people can disagree on that particular assessment, but it's a shame that he and other men and women of every race are excluded from the outset of this election process. I mean, first of all, that sentiment right there sounds like the sentiment of every racist ass white man and some white women too across the fruited plains. Because whenever we talk about the fact that we need representation, they always throw out this, oh, we need to judge people based on their merits. And oh, you shouldn't be using race as a means by which to choose someone. Well, you people have taught us in the long history of these yet to be United States of America that that's code language for we're going to always choose white people and keep you people out. Because left to yourselves, hey Karen, left to yourselves, y'all won't choose us. And history has proven if we don't have a seat at the table, our concerns will never be addressed. If we don't have a seat at the table and someone actively in the room telling you, screaming from the rafters, what we have to endure and what our plight is and what is happening, our issues will never be addressed. Hey, IMC Brian. Even if Biden had just nominated a black woman and wouldn't have said anything to anybody, we still would have the same thing because people would still be screaming, "Oh, well, he picked the black. He probably excluded a whole bunch of people and just picked the black one." They would have found a way to spin it down the same road just because it was a black person. Now, let's be clear. When freaking George H.W. Bush chose Clarence Thomas, black presenting self, and said that he was going to choose a black person because Thurgood Marshall was retiring. Was he retiring? Or did he? Yeah, he retired because he wasn't dead yet. But nobody said anything. Nobody blinked an eye. When Donald Trump said out of his mouth, as soon as Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, I'm choosing a woman, nobody batted an eye. So because Joe Biden said I'm choosing a black woman this time, because we've never had one and I'd like to have one, that's a problem. It checks the boxes that we need. And if you just are into checking boxes, there are only 3 women on the Supreme Court. And let's be clear, that's not a good percentage-wise representation of the populace of these yet to be United States of America. Because technically, I think statistics still says that there's more women in America than there are men. And then when you talk about the representation as well, I with Joe, we need black representation because if you think that black representation on the Supreme Court is Clarence Thomas, you are reaching because I keep telling y'all he's black presenting and not black in person. So the point is, these people like to change the rules when it's convenient for them. When they do it, oh, it's okay. When someone else on the other side does it, oh, now it's a problem. Oh no, you can't say that you're going to choose a specific race or that you're going to choose a specific gender. You are excluding a whole group of people. Because I didn't see and I didn't hear the other side screaming from the rafters when Donald Trump said he was going to choose a woman, saying, "How dare you exclude a whole segment of the population by excluding the men?" And I ain't hear them saying nothing else because you already knew he was going to choose a white woman. That went without saying. There was no, there was no second guessing about the race of the person that he was going to choose. Anyway, let me continue with this article. According to CNN, Georgetown's Black Law Student Association is demanding Shapiro to be fired. Bill Traynor, the dean of Georgetown University Law Center, released a statement on Shapiro. The statement says, over the past several days, I have heard the pain and outrage of so many at Georgetown Law, and particularly from our Black female students, staff, alumni, and faculty. Ilya Shapiro's tweets are anti antithetical to the work that we do here every day to build inclusion, belonging, and respect for diversity. I have heard and listened to a wide range of views and am grateful to the many members of the community who have reached out to me and other leaders at the school to share their thoughts. I am writing to inform you that I have placed Ilya Shapiro on administrative leave pending an investigation into whether he violated our policies and expectations on professional conduct, non discrimination, and anti harassment, the results of which will inform our next steps. Pending the outcome of the investigation, he will remain on leave and not be on campus. This investigation will follow the procedures established by Georgetown University. Shapiro then tweeted out that he is optimistic the investigation will conclude and find that he didn't violate any university rules or policies. He expects to join his colleagues shortly. I didn't even know that part. Um, Diamond Pearl Jim. Diamond Pearl Jim says he also said that Biden's nominee will always have an asterisk attached to their name. That's disrespectful. I mean, it was disrespectful enough that you said that black women are somehow lesser. And now all of a sudden there's an asterisk. Now you're over here trying to play your own intersectionality, racial identity politics over here, sir. Who's to say that when Srinevasan, whatever this man's name is, I can't pronounce, dear God, who's to say that he didn't get to where he is because someone in a position of power said, no, I'm going to choose someone of American Indian um, descent or heritage. And I'm going to make it a point to do that because they know that inclusion was needed. Who's to say that that wasn't the case with him? That got him to where he was. So let's not try to act like, oh, when this happened, it's a horrible thing because it has to happen. And that's the only way sometimes that we see how great these people are. That's the only way sometimes we get to see the greatness of the entirety of the human diaspora, the entirety of the racial the races and ethnicities that we have here in this country. It's only when people are forced into putting someone at the table and to having someone at the table, I should say, that you really start to see, oh, how many of us black people have been in a room or in a situation where you're sitting amongst a whole bunch of non-black people and they say, and they give these covert little diatribes basically saying, I didn't know black people were that smart. Oh, you're so well spoken. Oh, that's such a wonderful compliment from you. Oh, that was such a great email you wrote. I can't believe. Well, these little microaggressions is of them basically saying, "Oh, I know black people were that smart." I get told all the time that, "Oh, you have such a great vocabulary. I didn't know that." And then they'll pause and they'll see my face, and then they'll just say, "Oh, you speak so well." They want to say for a black person because they don't believe that we have the intellectual stamina, wherewithal, and fortitude with which to even be on their level, not knowing that not only are we on their level, we've surpassed their level many times over. And if he really wants to send a tweet out, he should be sending a tweet out about how most of the Supreme Court justices are only there because they have friends and people and positions and people who have put money in people's pockets, not based on merit. They are there simply because a friend wanted to help a friend. Y'all don't make me go down this road. Y'all trying to get me to have more sugar spice. Let me get some more of my Bucky's gummy worms. But I told y'all yesterday this was coming. I told y'all there's about to be an attack on black women across the fruited plains. We discussed this. A mess. But let me read you the actual tweet that he wrote, okay? This is what he wrote after his suspension. I'm optimistic that Georgetown's investigation will be fair, impartial, and professional, though there's really not much to investigate. And I'm confident that it will reach the only reasonable conclusion. My tweet didn't violate any university rule or policy, and indeed, it is protected by Georgetown policies on free expression. Accordingly, I expect to be vindicated and look forward to joining my new colleagues. The audacity of it all. The audacity of it all. It's the audacity of it all. Excuse me, I didn't read the last part of that. I expect to be vindicated and look forward to joining my new colleagues in short order. What it sounds like to me, let me read this again. Oh, appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. Tell them I said thank you. But what it sounds like this white man is doing, you don't got in trouble. And the audacity of your white privilege and white supremacy says that you can come out, put out a tweet that is bad. Your employer says, "Hey, that's bad." You knew it was bad enough, so much so that you took it down and put out a formal apology. But after you did that apology, you feel like, "Listen, I did what I had to do." And now you're demanding, it almost sounds like you're demanding that they bring you back in and say that nothing happened. Let me read this tweet again because this is the most egregious part of it. I'm going to read this tweet again that he sent out after the university announced that he was suspended and was doing an investigation. I'm going to read this tweet for you because y'all tell me if one of our black asses would have been able to tweet this out about an active investigation that our employer was having on us. Here's what he tweeted out. I'm optimistic that Georgetown's investigation will be fair, impartial, and professional, though there's really not much to investigate, and I'm confident that it will reach the only reasonable conclusion. My tweet didn't violate any university rule or policy, and indeed is protected by Georgetown policies on free expression. Accordingly, I expect to be vindicated and look forward to joining my new colleagues in short order. Sounds like you making some demands over there. Now, if you ask me, who's the one, when we read the statement from the dean of the Georgetown Law, and now we read the statement or the tweet tweeted out by this person that's under investigation, it sounds like the person under investigation is the one that's calling all the shots. This is what y'all got going on. Because apparently it's okay for you to deem black women as lesser, for you to say that there's going to be always an asterisk behind this black woman's name. Are you kidding me? Let me eat another gummy bear before my sugar levels spike out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's regulate our sugar levels, please. Let's regulate our sugar levels, please, because I feel my sugar levels spiking. This is what y'all got going on. Mm, mm, mm. All right. Well, let me bring it on back. All right, L. Teddy, get your life in order. All right, we back. You ain't lying, Diamond Bro Jim. Well, this is what y'all got going on. So the Dems may have a bit of a problem. Senator Ben Ray Luhans, excuse me, Luhans. I don't know why I can't read today. Hey, Jay Thomas. I heard what's white man's feelings so much. So when bad. So bad when they feel like that. It does hurt their feelings. So Senator Ben Ray Lujan, of Democrat of the great state of New Mexico, had a stroke. His stroke happened. He's 49 and he checked himself into the hospital Thursday. And his office announced, meaning that's today. I mean, last week Thursday, not today. Thursday, last week Thursday. His office announced Tuesday and was found to have suffered a stroke in the cerebellum, affecting his balance, and subsequently underwent decompressive surgery to ease the swelling. So last Thursday, Senator Ben Ray Lujan, Democrat of the great state of New Mexico, suffered a mild stroke. Suffered a stroke that, in his cerebellum and so forth. Problem is, it looks like he's going to be out at least 6 to 8 weeks. All right, 6 to 8 weeks. The senators are hopeful he'll return quickly, but the Democrats have to recalibrate their voting and the things that they do, because now they have 49 to the Republicans 50. And Senator Lujan is not going to be present for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Now, He is currently at the University of New Mexico Hospital. He's resting comfortably and expected to make a full recovery. The Democrats are hopeful that he will be able to quickly recover and return to the Senate, even as they acknowledge they are largely in the dark about the details of when that could happen. So they're not really sure about when that could happen. Problem is, y'all have our president, which is supposed to announce his nominee for Supreme Court at the end of this month, which gives him about 4 weeks right there. And then, it takes at least a month for the whole confirmation process, the whole vetting process, confirmation hearings, all this, that, and the third before, the the Supreme Court nominee is confirmed. So that's another at least month, which pushes us to April. So there's a possibility that he could be back by it comes time for that vote. But please be clear. Mitch McConnell and his band of merry racists over there on the other side are looking at this really, really closely. Because if Senator Lujan is not able to come back and they can't get this person confirmed, and they can stretch that out to after the midterms. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go that long, but trust me, Mitch McConnell and his people are looking for every loophole in the world to stretch this out. And if they can stretch it out and find a way where a vote can't happen, they will find it. Now, they're banking on someone's health and well-being, meaning the Democrats. They're banking on Senator Lujan coming back and making a full recovery. And I hope that the man does. But at the same in the same regard, you just don't know with these things. There's a very real possibility that maybe he doesn't recover as quickly as they think, and maybe it does take longer. And now that pushes into question, that brings into question this Supreme Court nominee. I'm gonna leave that there, but I'm gonna say that the Dems could have a bit of a problem. Because I can promise you, even though you had Senator Graham, Senator Collins, and Senator Murkowski that voted for, let's say if it is Ketanji Brown Jackson, right? And those three individuals voted for her to be confirmed to the D.C. Court of Appeals or Circuit Court of Appeals or whatnot. You can be damn skippy if Senator Lujan does not come back in time for a confirmation vote. Senator Mitch McConnell will get the three of those senators, Graham, Collins, and Murkowski, to fall in line. See, the Republicans don't have no problem getting their people to fall in line. It's the Dems and their weak selves that sit over here allowing Manchin and Sinema and Coons and some of these other people to hold their party hostage and not get anything pushed through. Because I guarantee you, if Senator Lujan can't come, I promise you, as sure as we are here today, Murkowski, Collins, and Graham will not vote to confirm whoever it is. They will fall in line with their party. Please believe me. Trust and believe. These people need to develop backbones. These people need to develop backbones. I mean, I'm just putting this out there for y'all. So y'all see where this is going. Y'all see, today is February 3rd. When this comes back to haunt the Dems, if Lujan does not come back, Senator Lujan doesn't come back. Now, if I'm not mistaken, parliamentary procedures does say in the event of a tie, the chair can cast, even if the Senate parliamentary procedures are different from normal parliamentary procedures, because what happens is in normal parliamentary procedures, the chair gets a vote. So if the Senate is 100 individuals, technically they have 101 votes because the vice president being this is, I'm not saying this is the Senate rules, but in normal parliamentary procedures, the vice president is the president of the Senate, meaning that the vice president would have a vote in the Senate, so that would be 101 votes. And and if someone's absent, then that will put it at 100 votes. So the vice president would cast their vote that they get, and then in the event of a tie, the presiding officer or the person presiding would cast the vote that would decide, the outcome of whatever it is they're voting on. And I believe the Senate is the same way, which is why they always have Kamala Harris that needs to come over and become vote number 51, which would make it 51 to 50. So even if Senator Lujan is absent and it ends up being a 50-50, Vice President Kamala Harris still can have to determine which way it goes. That looks good on paper, but at the rate that COVID-19 and coronavirus is going, and with people having to be quarantined, you got a couple of Democratic senators right now on quarantine. I think Mitt Romney is on quarantine right now for coronavirus, as well as a couple other Republican senators. And every so many days and weeks or so, you got people having to be quarantined for coronavirus. Let's not think that this stuff is just a shoe in or is a lock at this point. We'll be monitoring. I'm just putting it out there. We'll be monitoring. I just want to put that out there for y'all. Please be clear. With the Dems, ain't nothing guaranteed. All right, we got two more stories. One more story, and then we'll get to our feature presentation. So, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II and his Poor People's Campaign are out here doing the work of the people. Please be clear, they are out here doing the work of the people. But they are out here fighting on behalf of a whole lot of people. And right now, they are calling out the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party wants means tested child tax credit. So yeah, they're touting, oh, we want child tax credits to continue, dot, 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 dot. But now they want it to be means tested. Let me read this for you. Leaders of the Poor People's Campaign on Tuesday blasted Senator Joe Manchin's proposal to means test a child tax credit that expired because the Senate hasn't passed the approved House because the Senate hasn't passed the House approved Build Back Better Act, largely due to opposition from Senator Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. I told y'all that on February 1st. We talked about this already, that on February 1st, the child tax credit goes away because there's no more Build Back Better. We talked about this on the politics of it all. Ain't no more child tax credit. And now Joe Manchin is saying, oh, if y'all want child tax credit or some scaled down form of Build Back Better, we need it to be means tested. Let me keep reading. The campaign's co-chairs, Bishop William J. Barber II and Reverend Dr. Liz Theoharis, warned that further restricting access to the child tax credit, which gave parents monthly payments of up to $300 per child until it ended in January would be a dangerous compromise. Means testing puts a cap on who can access government assistance and welfare programs. Barbara and Theo Harris said it's usually measured against the poverty line too low. So so means tests usually underestimate who needs these programs and how much they need them. It seems like every time a means test is lifted or made more generous, more people benefit, not because they don't need those programs, but because they do. Medicaid is means tested, but when it was expanded during the pandemic, 10 million more people enrolled in Medicaid. The co chairs called out not only Manchin, but also the third ranking Democrat in the House, Senator, South Carolina Congressman James Clyburn. Yeah, yeah, him. Y'all know how I feel about James Clyburn, who said last week that he was, quote, not opposed to means testing the child tax credit, sparking swift backlash. Y'all already know how I feel about James Clyburn. I'm not going to go down that road because I have a whole ass sugar packet. I have to do like I did before, where I was pouring candy on myself. Dear God. Barbara and Theo Harris also highlighted how many families were helped by the program last year, according to Megan A. Curran of the Center on Poverty and Social Policy at Columbia University. Quote, as of December 2021, the expanded child tax credit has delivered 6 monthly payments reaching over 61 million children in more than 36 million households nationwide. The Curran wrote in a report near the end of last year. Quote, the American Rescue Plan changes to the child tax credit are a meaningful policy shift. Before this year, one third of all children, numbering anywhere from 23 to 27 million, were left out of the full child tax credit. These children are now included, she noted. More than 90% of all children are now eligible for the credit, which was delivered as a monthly payment rather than an annual tax credit for the second half of 2021. In addition to helping millions of more families than the previous program, perhaps more importantly, the expanded child tax credit lifted the stigma of receiving welfare, Barbara and Theo Harris said. Senator Manchin and others want to do away with it now, not because it didn't work, but because it did. I want to read this part and I want to let this part sink in. This is something that William Barber said, Bishop William Barber said. This is his quote, and this is so important. Remember, there are no work requirements on tax cuts for the wealthy or corporations. There is no means testing to the Pentagon. We will not accept means testing that makes the child tax credit or any program we need less than what it needs to be for us. That is so important to hear. When they give these tax credits to the rich, they don't have means testing for them. When they're giving trillions of dollars to the defense budget, there's no means testing. They don't care. Go ahead and give it to them. But when it comes to people who need it, poor people, and sometimes people who aren't technically poor, but people who just need an extra chunk of change to keep a bill paid. Y'all got a problem with that. Now we got to have all kinds of means testing. Now, see, here's the problem. The problem is these politicians are only here for people who are lining their pockets. If you can put money in their pocket, then they will make it easy for you. But if you ain't putting no money in their pocket, they're putting all kinds of policies and regulations and protocols and provisos and all kinds of things in place to keep you from getting any help and assistance that you need. And you got Democrats, not just the Joe Manchins of the world, but y'all heard me say Representative Jim Clyburn is back in this kind of foolishness as well. But that's y'all boy. Jim Clyburn. That's y'all boy. Y'all like to play around with him. Y'all like to go to him and put a microphone in his face every time. Issues surrounding black people come up. Y'all like to stick a microphone in his face and act like he speaks for the entire monolith of black people as if we are actually a monolith and, go by whatever he says. Don't get me started on Jim Clyburn. Let me get off this article because I might have a whole meltdown. Same Joe Manchin. Hey, Cam, same Joe Manchin, who we already reported took over $1 million from corporate entities and political action committees over the last year. Don't get me started. But this is what y'all got going on. And this is coming from the Democratic side. hmm Now, I could have spent a lot more time on that, but I need to get to our feature presentation before it gets too late. Our feature presentation today takes us back to my great state of Florida. Dear God. Governor death sentence, Ron DeSantis, is on this campaign to turn Florida into its own mini dictatorship and authoritarian empire. He wants no parts of the citizenship, the real citizenship of Florida, having anything to do with policies, laws, or anything that impacts their lives. Rather, the only people that he wants to have a say about it is racist ass white people who he aligns himself with and that can help line his pockets. Lord, let me tell y'all what it seems like 2 or 3 times a week we're always chronicling some new law and policy that Governor Death Sentence Ron DeSantis is putting in place to make it so oppressive for Floridians. Let me tell y'all what this ass clown is doing now. Him, not just him, but the entirety of the Republican Party in the great state of Florida. Let me read the headline. Alarm grows as Florida GOP advances plan to gut ballot initiative process. That sounds like a whole bunch of what, who, what. Let me explain this to you in layman's terms. The ballot initiative process is the process in Florida by which you can say, or a group or an entity or a citizen can say, I think we need to have this policy or rule or law in Florida, and I would like to get this on the ballot at the next election. And so there is a process in place called the ballot initiative process where you can go through, the process and have it added to the ballot. That is how medical marijuana was approved in the state of Florida. That is how several other things, and I could go down a grocery list of great things that have been made into law because the citizenship and the citizenry of Florida said, we're going to go through the process. We want this on the ballot. Let us vote on it. But the GOP says, yeah, I don't like you citizens deciding on what laws y'all want for y'all own state. Yeah, we're not here for that. We're not here for no parts of you people deciding on laws that y'all get to have. that impact y'all. So we're going to snatch that from y'all and take a whole bunch of that from y'all. Let me read this for y'all because this is, I've told y'all, this is becoming a scary place. We are living in some dystopian part of history where we're going to look back and say, my God, today, what the world was going on? Like when the American democracy crumbles to the ground. The last 2 years, the last, not just 2 years, I'll say the last 5 years will be looked at as a what in God's name were these people doing? Time period. Like people will look at us and say, what in the world? Like, let me read this article. The citizen initiative process that gave Floridians the power to raise the minimum wage and restore voting rights is under grave threat after the state's House Judiciary Committee on Tuesday advanced a Republican proposal to dramatically limit the scope of future ballot measures. Let me stop there. Those are just a couple. The minimum wage was raised because of a ballot initiative. Giving felons the right to vote again happened because of a ballot initiative and because there were organizations and people and entities amongst the citizenship that said, no, you people down there at the state capitol building don't want to give us these rights. So we'll present a ballot initiative, get this on the ballot, let the the populace vote on this, the citizens vote on this, and when they vote, it gets approved. Things that would never get approved. There's no way in hell medical marijuana would have ever made it to law in Florida. There's no way in hell convicted felons would have been restored their rights to vote. There's no way in hell they would have raised the minimum wage because these people don't want any parts of that. Let me continue to read. Led by State Representative Mike Beltran, House Joint Resolution 1127 would alter Florida's constitution to limit citizen initiatives to, quote, matters relating to procedural subjects or to structure, end quote, of the government, a restriction that likely would have blocked $15 minimum wage, voting rights, medical marijuana, and environmental conservation amendments. Having passed out of the GOP-controlled Judiciary Panel, the proposal is soon expected to receive a vote in the full state House of Representatives. If the Florida legislature passes Beltran's resolution, voters will have to approve the amendment for it to be added to the state's constitution. Final approval of the resolution would effectively spell the death of the state's citizen initiative process. The ACLU of Florida warned in a statement Tuesday evening, these proposed changes to the citizen initiative process are not about fixing problems, they are about interfering with the will of Floridians. Through ballot initiatives, citizens have been able to improve the lives of well-being of Floridians, said Kara Gross, the group's legislative director and senior policy counsel. Gross characterized the Florida GOP's attack on citizen initiative process as part of a broader trend of, quote, politicians trying to rewrite the rules because they do not like when voters use their power is a trend that must come to an end. We see that all the time. Anytime the voters say and the people say, yeah, we're going to take power in our own hands and decide what we want, the politician did say, oh no, we're not here for y'all having any decision on any of this. It's such an oxymoron. Like we're living in such a paradox right now. It's just unfathomable. It's just ridiculous. Quote, Florida lawmakers should respect the will of the people and Floridians' right to participate in our democracy. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Hey y'all, I just got a package from L Love. We'll open this in a little bit. That was so convenient that a package would come from L Love right as we're live. We'll open it in just a few moments. Um, so where was I? Florida lawmakers should respect the will of the people and Floridians' right to participate in our democracy through the citizen initiative process. They should vote no on these proposals and end the crusade of sabotaging the right of the people to be heard. And it goes on and on and on about what this means for the people. But this is what I was saying to you all about us voting in 2022. 2022 is not about Washington, D.C. 2022 is us voting for us and the things that directly impact us. Most states have their gubernatorial elections during the midterm years. Like this year, most states, not all, but most of the states across the country are having gubernatorial elections. Most states are going to have initiatives and things on the ballot that specifically impact you. Most states, you have the ability to change what's going on in your state legislatures. And if you don't take the opportunity to do that, that can and will impact you more than anything that's going on over there in Washington, D.C. So everything that we're voting for this year in 2022 is not about to give help to these people over there in Washington, D.C. It's all about doing what we can do to help ourselves in our respective states and counties and parishes and municipalities and so forth. We have to be concerned about what's going on within our own backyards. And if you live in the state of Florida, you got to be afraid about this. And if this passes Florida, it becomes the blueprint for a whole lot of other states to decide that they're going to do the exact same thing. Basically, taking the right out of the hands of the people to be able to pass laws or to be able to make decisions about how they live as a people in that place. That is scary. That is very scary. They are taking it out of your hands. Not only are they attacking, we've chronicled this over the last 16 months or so. They started, and I told y'all at the beginning of this, well over 16 months ago, I told y'all, I said, they have a plan and a process. They started when you all said y'all wanted to do Black Lives Matter. They had sweeping laws to stop rioting and not rioting, I should say, but protesting and calling it riots. They had all of those, and we chronicled all of those laws where they outlawed all protests and gatherings. Then they made protests, they started to connect these things. So now, if you get caught protesting, or as they call it, rioting, it now becomes not a misdemeanor anymore, but a felony, which then removes your right to vote. Not only do you not have the right to vote, we're going to now then start passing sweeping laws that suppress the right to vote, that purges voting rolls, that removes people's access to the rolls, that makes it harder for people to vote. Even laws saying you can't give people a glass of water while they're waiting in line. Laws that makes the early voting time period shortened. So they're suppressing and stopping you, trying to stop you from voting. And in addition to that, there's a process here. We have sweeping laws in the schools. So now we stop you from voting. Now we're going to stop educating the next generation on their rights and everything that happened to them and on their history, so that they don't repeat that history, because we'd like that history repeated, because we want that history to continue and proliferate across the fruited plains. So we dare not teach the students about that, because we don't want them to know that, so that they don't think that it's a horrible thing, which it actually is. And now they have this concerted effort to say, oh, and you can also not introduce any new initiatives, any new laws, or anything that's going to help yourself that you are concerned about and that you think is important, no, you can't have no parts of that now. Only what we deem is important is what can be put into law. Do y'all see what this is turning into? And it's so timely that back in the 19th century, a lot of the presidents and politicians will call this the American experiment. And this experiment seems not to be going too well right now. This is getting serious, people. But we got people concerned with all kinds of other stuff. Everything is important, everything else is important. And by the time people wake up and realize what's happening, it's going to be too late. And I'm saying that we started off talking about an example of that. I started this broadcast talking about how now the mainstream media and everything is calling themselves raising the alarms about the banning of books all over the place. It's too late. The laws are already in place. They've already removed books. It's too late for you to focus on it because it's already happened. And y'all were concerned about everything else. And so now you have laws. Now, the only saving grace about this right here, the only saving grace about this right here is still in the hands of the people. Even for this to pass, it has to go on the ballot, and the Floridians have to vote this into law. So they just can't, even if the House and Florida House and the Florida Senate say, okay, we want this, it changes the Florida Constitution and they have to put it on the ballot. So they can't just do it by them saying, okay, and then having Governor death sentence, who's the one spearheading this, just sign off on it. It doesn't work like that. So that's the one saving grace. So I know that there are several entities, including the ACLU and several other entities within the state of Florida, that are going to be fighting against this, and they're going to be sounding the alarm on this because this is not good. And please be clear, once this passes through the Florida legislature and makes it to the ballot, you can be damn skippy. Several other states are going to do the same thing. So don't just think, oh, it's just those, backwoods ass people down in Florida. Oh, no. It can and may actually be you as well in whatever state you reside. So this is why we need to be informed of what's going on in some other states so that we don't fall victim to the same things, y'all. I'm over here, I'm telling y'all, we be over here giving y'all the word of the people, trying so hard to make sure that we do right by y'all and that we do everything that we can to inform y'all so y'all can make informed decisions for yourselves, for your families, and your loved ones, because these people are not here for us. I mean, Michael Jackson said it beautifully. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. They don't. And we have to stay informed, y'all. We have to stay informed. That was our feature presentation of the day. Um, and that it's always so many things that concern me. But we need to see. I would venture to say, look into what it looks like in your respective state. In Florida, it's called the citizen initiative process on how you get things on the ballot in the state of Florida. But every state has a process like that, and so you may want to take a look at what that looks like, what it's called in your respective state, and what it looks like. And that way you can do a little research and see, what language, because I guarantee you a lot of people in Florida, if they hear citizen initiative process, they don't know what that means. They don't know the importance of it. And so when people talk about it, they don't think that it's anything, to nothing to do about nothing, or they don't think it's anything to be worried about when it's something to gravely be worried about. And so I would say inform yourself of what the language and nomenclature is in your respective state. So when you hear it being brought up and people start talking about it, you can, your ears can ring up and say, hey, wait, what are y'all talking about? So you know if this is something that they're planning within your respective areas, because this is very important um, to you as a human being. So yeah. So that's all of our stories today. So y'all see how we circled back? We went from Florida to Florida. Yeah. Um, Let me get something to open this with. Get some keys. So I just got a package. Wait, hold on, y'all. From one of you guys. And we're going to unbox this package now. Shout out to L Love. Y'all be doing me way too good. Way too good. So shout out to L Love, who told me, say, hey, I got a package for you. It's coming. Expect it. And hopefully L Love watches the replay. If you're watching the replay or in the bushes, L Love, thank you in advance for what you said. I sure appreciate it. Because y'all don't have to do nothing. Oh, this is packed well. Jesus. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, Lord. But yes, can I get some Shondos in the chat for L Love thinking of me and thought it not robbery to get me something, little old me. So we're gonna unsheath and unbox this now live. That was so timely that it came. Um, oh, you're welcome, y'all. I see your comments. You're Lamone and Ladonna and everything, and Tabitha and Quintessential. Thank y'all because y'all know I just be over here screaming and sounding the alarm for the people. She gave me a card, and the card says, "This is packed real nice. You work for the post office, hell love." It says, "Hello, El Teddy. I'm so late. Please forgive me." Oh no, it's nothing to forgive. I caught the COVID. Oh no, I caught the COVID again, and I think that I just procrastinated. Oh no, we're praying for you, El Love, and this is a happy birthday. Because I told y'all we still in Capricorn season. Enjoy being celebrated for the gift you are on your birthday and always. Happy birthday, El Teddy, El Love. Oh, it's so nice. See? And she gave me a gift card. Okay. Okay. So I got a gift card. $25 gift card. Appreciate that. And sit that over here. Y'all know we finna use that gift card to go get some snacks. We gotta regulate our sugar levels over here. But y'all know I enjoy. Y'all can see I get so much joy and excitement from doing politics and stuff like that. Not that I don't, not that I'm going to not do reviews anymore, because I will still be reviewing. But this, as y'all can see, is a lot where my passion is and my focus is, and I have a good time over here. And I hope y'all enjoy me being able to bring y'all this, serious stuff in these politics. So, wow, this is wrapped real good, y'all. It's in a little styrofoam box, y'all. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, wait, y'all. I want y'all to see this. So, I don't know why y'all be thinking about little old me. Oh, so it's something. It says HD crystal gifts, and this looks like a little stand, I think, in a nice little bag. And there's a little, looks like a, oh, ooh. See if I can't get this out. Oh, that's nice. So if you can see, oh wow, look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on, let me see if I turn off the ring light. You can see it. Hold on. Maybe you can see it better without the ring light. But it has it says this it says it has like inside it says Capricorn, and it has like inside the little crystal, it has like a constellation, and it has, I guess that's the Capricorn constellation, looks like some type of sea animal and a little girl or something in there. But it's something real nice where you know how they do the little stuff on the inside. It says, I don't know if y'all can see it says Capricorn at the bottom. It says Capricorn at the bottom. It's really nice. And so I guess, and it sits on this here stand, like this. Y'all know what? Y'all is way too, y'all gonna have me spoiled around here. So y'all see that? Let me get out of the shot so y'all can see it. So it's real nice. I'm gonna sit that right on over here on the little desk. Y'all, look at you, L. That is so nice. I'm so grateful. And it's so appreciated. Thank you so much. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. I'm over here smiling from ear to ear. Oh, but thank you so much, L Love. Thank you, my love. L Love does. She be spoiling me, and I'm so grateful. She be spoiling me. Yeah. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna take it to work and put it on my desk at work. That's what I'm gonna put it at my desk at work, so that I have a nice little. You got to have your little desk ornaments at work and stuff. So I'm kind of hey Miss Bay thing. Child, I try to give y'all content that y'all definitely need, not some of the buffoonery. Not that there's not a place for the buffoonery, because I be in the bushes. I be in the bushes some places. Y'all be spoiling me between L Love and Button Jessica and Tanya, my girl Tanya. And so many of y'all be doing me right. I don't want to start naming people, but then I'm gonna leave somebody out, and I don't want to leave nobody out. But y'all know y'all be doing me right, and I'm grateful and appreciative. So did a whole face. I did a whole face. I went to a meet, child, and I'm still on here. Anyway, so shout out to L Love. Y'all put some shout outs in the chat to L Love. That's going to the office to sit on my desk, and I can look at it and be like, oh. So oh, Abby, I need to call you and really be too. I got something I want from y'all. So I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I'm gonna call y'all. Anyway, y'all put some shout outs in the chat before we get out of here. Y'all know what, I am grateful to be able to bring this stuff to y'all. I'm working on some stuff. I'm working on some stuff for my members. I'm also working on stuff to spruce up the I got my mic coming, some other stuff coming. I'm so excited, everything, and we're gonna get this stuff all nice and stuff. Um, I'm scared to change my intro because y'all get mad every time I change my intro. Y'all always get mad at me about my intros, and when I changed it the one time, well, this last time I changed it a few months ago, y'all was in my comment section and y'all was in my inbox like, "What is this foolishness? Please go back to our old intro that we love." You know, I told y'all the story about the lady at the mall who wanted me to say no means no and yes means no. She wanted me to say, I was like, no, no means no and yes means no, no. But but who's calling me? I'm not gonna answer. Anyway, that's all I got. for y'all. As I always say, I truly love y'all and I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel and to me personally via Cash App, Super Chats, Super Stickers, gifts, and other things. Thank y'all so much. Oh, that goes back to my old channel. Um, they are much obliged and much appreciated. I'm so very grateful. I take it now, robbery, to know that you all think enough of me to do that. I am going to continue to be here for y'all to inform you all, to edify you, and make sure that this stuff does not fall under the cloak of night, because sometimes stuff that specifically involves us as Black people doesn't make the mainstream media, and we need to be informed. So I can't say that I'll do every single thing, because you know, I don't think any one person can, but I'll do the best I can to always stay here, keep you all informed on what's going on, so we can you know, educate ourselves. I did Evie, and I want to review it, so I probably will. I didn't have time today because I woke up late and I knew I had to come and do a live, but I think I will. Anyway, if anybody want to donate to the snack fund, it's here. Snack fund is there. That's all I got for y'all. Um, hey, October's child, how art thou? We're about to get up off here. We've been on here for almost 2 hours now. So we're about to get up off here. Anyway, that is all I got for y'all. I think me and Really B are gonna go live tomorrow for a politics of it all. So that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank you all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.